Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. What this means is that there is a hunter in a large field, and he has set out his falcon to search for prey. In the process of searching for the prey, the falcon has gone too far, to the point that the falconer cannot even project his voice to make his falcon come back. And that there are a lot of questions in the head of the hunter. What will happen to my sustenance? What will happen to my pet? Is it ever coming back? Chaos reigns in his head. Good afternoon. My name is TUSHAR DEBROY, and I'm a student of Masters in English Literature. I've recently been looking at this excerpt from one of W.B. Yeats's poems, and I've been thinking, wow, what a profound statement. The more you move away from the stability of moderate beliefs, you tend to put yourself and the world into a danger of anarchy. The more extreme your political beliefs go, the more dangerous the world can become. And some people might praise him for this statement, but from my experience, I've come to disagree with him. I'm like, nah, even if Mr. Yeats is a very staunch critic of his society, I don't think that chaos is necessarily all that bad, even if the world does break down into anarchy. As long as we are able to communicate with each other, we'll still hold opinions against each other's beliefs and will be able to hold discourse. Now, this leads me to come to talk about opinions. What are they? Now, everyone must have heard that popular adage that opinions are like noses. And like noses, everyone has an opinion, unless you're an anime character. In which case, I guess you can't have an opinion? Maybe that's why they say on the internet that they will reject your opinion if your profile picture is of an anime character. Keep in mind that even if this is some kind of a comedy, it is still enabling discourse between those people who have anime profile pictures and those who do not have it. Which leads me to talk about arguments. When do arguments usually happen? Any answers? Well, I think that arguments usually happen because of disagreements. For example, take it if I say that oranges are better than apples. But if someone else were to say, no, apples are in fact better than oranges, not the other way around. My opinion has been turned into an argument by the other person. Now, if that same apple lover is to say that, are you mad? What kind of idiot prefers oranges to apples? In fact, you're objectively wrong, and I believe that no one should be allowed to enjoy oranges at all. Otherwise, they would all be as stupid as you. That is not only bullying, but also I believe it is some form of an extremist belief. By having beliefs like this, you are cornering your opponent to such a point where they cannot hold any opinions against you, and the argument falls apart. This leads to a coercive victory, which is not only a kind of a hollow win statement, but also a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, this form of extremism, I have realized, comes most often in social media, which brings me to the phenomenon of a ratio. In social media, you could possibly see a ratio, and ratio in simple facts, simply put, is you can see the red line and the green line. Whenever someone makes a post and the comment on a post gets more like than the original post, it is signifying that the original post is actually very unpopular with the public and people are agreeing with someone who is disagreeing with the person who made the post. Now, ratios can come in many flavors. Some ratios are very nice, some ratios straight up fail, some ratios talking about like the upper echelons, they speak as from a lower type of society for the like higher billionaires to whom they cannot raise their voice against. Now, in some ratios, people also feel bullied because apparently you can nowadays not even praise your own country because someone else will say that there's something wrong with you if you are born in Pakistan. So that still goes to one kind of an extremism. Now, these are forms of extremism on social media. But have you seen a ratio attempt in real life? Take a look at this example. A group of hardline Sanghis are climbing up on a terrace and they're playing Hanuman Chalisa when there is an azan going on at 5 a.m. in the morning around a mosque. And the situation becomes so absurd that you start shaking your head in disbelief. Just see what happens. So when will this kind of madness ever end? I found out that in reaction to extremism like this, people tend to double down and try to fight fire with fire. In order to beat the extremists, you need to be more extreme than the extremists themselves. And I say this because I've found a new political ideology called anti-centrism on YouTube recently. When you are an anti-centrist, you are a fascist, communist, libertarian, anarchist, Medinist, feminist member of the LGBTQ community, as well as a hardline multi-religious fanatic. Can all of those things exist? Of course not. It's a joke ideology, and it's made to specifically poke fun at the extremists who cannot coexist with the other people of the society without having hard beliefs. Take, for example, on YouTube comment sections, you will find people are posing their opinions, and that is the context, by the way. There are some people who enjoy their freedom of speech too much. And when they get too extreme, you see that they try to turn down, like shut down all kind of opinions in that form. Now, it is not that anti-extremism is any kind of a less known belief, because there are some people who genuinely believe that if you are more extreme than the extremists themselves, it is a very hilarious way of turning down their beliefs, their thoughts, so that they feel so discouraged that they are sort of demotivated to do anything extreme to the society. So by fighting fire with fire, we are sort of shutting them down before they do anything too much drastic. Of course, there are many examples I could show. If you could go on the internet, you will see many more examples, but I cannot show them here because they're way too vulgar for my presentation. So at the end, I would like to end off with a little bit of wisdom from a late spiritual leader named Acharya Rajneesh Osho.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
What he said, does that make him an anti-centrist or does that make him an extremist? We can't know for sure. But at the end, remember, that is just his opinion. Thank you very much.